Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 1. The promise of a computerized society, we were told, was that it would pass to machines all of the repetitive drudgery of work, allowing us humans to pursue higher purposes and to have more leisure time. It didn't work out this way. Instead of more time, most of us have less. Companies large and small have offloaded work onto the backs of consumers. Things that used to be done for us, as part of the value-added service of working with a company, we are now expected to do ourselves. With air travel, we're now expected to complete our own reservations and check-in, jobs that used to be done by airline employees or travel agents. At the grocery store, we're expected to bag our own groceries and, in some supermarkets, to scan our own purchases. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 2. Individuals who perform at a high level in their profession often have instant credibility with others. People admire them, they want to be like them, and they feel connected to them. When they speak, others listen even if the area of their skill has nothing to do with the advice they give. Think about a world-famous basketball player. He has made more money from endorsements than he ever did playing basketball. Is it because of his knowledge of the products he endorses? No. It's because of what he can do with a basketball. The same can be said of an Olympic medalist swimmer. People listen to him because of what he can do in the pool. And when an actor tells us we should drive a certain car, we don't listen because of his expertise on engines. We listen because we admire his talent. Excellence connects. If you possess a high level of ability in an area, others may desire to connect with you because of it. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 3. Think of the brain as a city. If you were to look out over a city and ask where is the economy located, you'd see there's no good answer to the question. Instead, the economy emerges from the interaction of all the elements from the stores and the banks to the merchants and the customers. And so it is with the brain's operation, it doesn't happen in one spot. Just as in a city, no neighborhood of the brain operates in isolation. In brains and in cities, everything emerges from the interaction between residents, at all scales, locally and distantly. Just as trains bring materials and textiles into a city, which become processed into the economy, so the raw electrochemical signals from sensory organs are transported along superhighways of neurons. There the signals undergo processing and transformation into our conscious reality. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 4. According to educational psychologist Susan Engel, curiosity begins to decrease as young as 4 years old. Susan Engel. By the time we are adults, we have fewer questions and more default settings. As Henry James put it, disinterested curiosity is past, the mental grooves and channels set. Henry James. The decline in curiosity can be traced in the development of the brain through childhood. Though smaller than the adult brain, the infant brain contains millions more neural connections. The wiring, however, is a mess. The lines of communication between infant neurons are far less efficient than between those in the adult brain. The baby's perception of the world is consequently both intensely rich and wildly disordered. As children absorb more evidence from the world around them, certain possibilities become much more likely and more useful and harden into knowledge or beliefs. The neural pathways that enable those beliefs become faster and more automatic, while the ones that the child doesn't use regularly are pruned away. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 5. Nearly 8 of 10 U.S. adults believe there are good foods and bad foods. 108. Unless we're talking about spoiled stew, poison mushrooms, or something similar, however, no foods can be labeled as either good or bad. There are, however, combinations of foods that add up to a healthful or unhealthful diet. Consider the case of an adult who eats only foods thought of as good, for example, raw broccoli, apples, orange juice, boiled tofu, and carrots. Although all these foods are nutrient-dense, they do not add up to a healthy diet because they don't supply a wide enough variety of the nutrients we need. Or take the case of the teenager who occasionally eats fried chicken, but otherwise stays away from fried foods. The occasional fried chicken isn't going to knock his or her diet off track. But the person who eats fried foods every day, with few vegetables or fruits, and loads up on super-sized soft drinks, candy, and chips for snacks has a bad diet. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 01, Number 6. Advertisers often displayed considerable facility in adapting their claims to the market status of the goods they promoted. Fleischmann's yeast, for instance, was used as an ingredient for cooking homemade bread. Fleischmann. Yet more and more people in the early 20th century were buying their bread from stores or bakeries, so consumer demand for yeast decreased. 20. The producer of Fleischmann's yeast hired the J. Walter Thompson advertising agency to come up with a different marketing strategy to boost sales. Fleischmann J. Walter Thompson. No longer the soul of bread, the Thompson agency first turned yeast into an important source of vitamins with significant health benefits. Thompson soul of bread. Shortly thereafter, the advertising agency transformed yeast into a natural laxative. Repositioning yeast helped increase sales. Day 02. MTC. Good job.